So I'm using 1095, 15 and 20. These are already cut into 4-inch pieces. I would get these cut up, we'll get them cleaned up and stacked and ready to forge weld. So let's get these two cut up. And we're going to stack alternating layers. So we did 1095 and then 15 and 20. Now we're doing 1095 again. We'll just go all the way through that and alternate the layers all the way through. Back in the fire. All right, here is the billet as it stands right now. It is almost 18 inches long. I'll be able to cut an inch off of each end and then have roughly 3-inch pieces, 5 of them, to get my 150 to 160 layers. Should be about 160 layers if my math is correct, which most of the time it's not. Anyway, so we've got it drawn down to roughly the same size and same thickness all the way down through. I let this cool off in the forge real slow. So now I'm going to cut the ends off and cut it up into 5 pieces and restack. So let's get this over to the bandsaw and get her cut up. All right, we got them all cut up, ready to weld together. Get a handle put on there, get them in the forge. Okay, so the plan is to draw this billet out to about 3/8 of an inch thick. I plan on making some ladder pattern Damascus and some raindrop pattern Damascus from this billet, making a couple knives. So I will be squeezing the ladder into it with some dies on my forging press, and then I will be drilling some holes in it for the raindrop pattern. So what I need to do is make sure that it's thick enough that I can go about a third of the way through on each side and then flatten it back out to the thickness of the blade that I want. So I want anywhere from an 1/8 to 3/16 of an inch blade. So I want to basically triple that. So I'm going to go about 3/8 to 1/2 an inch, somewhere in there. Um, should be about the right size thickness that I need for this billet. So we're just going to go ahead and draw this out, and then it'll be time to forge the knife. All right, so that's going to get me close to where I want to be. I think it should be about right at 3/8. Yeah, just a hair over 3/8 by roughly 20 inches. So anyway, I should get several knives out of that, and the thickness will change a little bit as I forge it. And then, so I'm going to forge the knives close to shape, but they're going to be fairly thick. And then that's when I'll put the pattern in, and then finish forging it to shape after I put the pattern in. So this is going to get us close to where we want to be. So we're going to call that good for tonight, and we will pick this up again in the morning. So it's starting to get kind of chilly in the shop right now. So anyway, it's supposed to be colder tomorrow. So I guess we'll see what it's like tomorrow. All right. Pick this up in the morning. So it's the next day, and it is colder in the shop today than it was last night. If you can see that. So let's get this in the fire and get to warming up. So I'm going to be doing 2 knives, roughly that shape. I'm going to have about a 3 to 3 1/4 inch blade. One will be raindrop, one will be ladder. So I like to draw them on the anvil so I can forge as close to the shape that I need as I can. So this is going to be all the forging we're going to do for the raindrop pattern one for right now. We'll let it cool off slow so it's easy to drill the holes in the side to get that pattern. So I'm going to set this on top of the forge so it cools down slow while we forge the ladder pattern blade out. Here are my forging dies for the ladder pattern. You can see the grooves in there. So we're going to squeeze those grooves into the steel, and then we'll grind it back smooth after we do that. So this will take several presses because I have to clean these out about after every second squish or so. It gets filled up with the scale down here. So it'll take a couple presses, but we'll get those squished in there, and the ladder pattern will be put in, and then we can grind it back smooth. That's starting to look better. So you can see all those grooves that we put in there with the ladder dies. Now what we need to do is just grind it all back smooth, and it will reveal those layers. This side got a little bit wonky in the middle. I think my die shifted in there a little bit, but it should be all right. This side's going to look really good. So let's get the grinder out, grind that back smooth, and then we can finish forging out the blade. All right, so I got all those grooves ground back smooth, but this is why we left it fairly thick, because we are running right at about 1/8 of an inch. So we don't want to go any thinner than that. So that's going to be all for the forging on the ladder blade. It's fairly close to the drawing that we have on there. It's a little big, which is fine. We can grind it down exactly how we want it. So now it is time to drill into the raindrop pattern blade. So get over to the drill press and get that done. All right, so here is the raindrop pattern. It's all drilled in there both sides. Time to throw her in the forge and flatten her out. We got rid of most of the divots in there. It did come out quite a little bigger than what my drawing is here, so we're going to forge it down just a little bit. Here they are, all forged up. The ladder and then the raindrop. Raindrop's still hot. Okay, so I'm going to clean up the profile on both of these and then surface grind them, and I might even grind the bevels in because I don't know that I'll be able to see the pattern unless I do. So I've got the knives in the heat treat oven for their first thermal cycle. I will bring them out and put my maker's mark in right here. So they are just about ready to come out. All right, so here is the Raindrop. You can see some of those little circles around in there. Maybe a little on this side. It's kind of hard to see on this one. They are there. And then here is the ladder pattern. Let's see those ladders running up and down right there. So turned out pretty good. All right, so that is going to be it for this episode. We'll finish out those two knives in the next episode. Thanks for sticking along with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a good one. We'll see you on the next one. God bless.